Hey, what's up everybody? It's Andrew from Snakeworks. Across the street is the FedEx shipping hub for Portland, Maine. I'm out here dropping off some reptiles, and inside that box of the reptiles are heat packs. So in this video, I'm going to show you how you can safely pack your reptiles with heat packs. Stay tuned. What I'm doing right now is actually the night before I ship out. I like to get the box made. I weigh everything so I know the exact measurements and weight for FedEx, and I get the label printed out so the customer has the tracking number the day before the shipment. All right, starting out, before you even put the box together, I go and I fill out my Lacey Act label. All right, so you see we have is a reptile, Python regius, and ball pythons. You need both those names, the common name and Latin name. Quantity 4, I just write out a 4 and 4 so no one misunderstands what is in here. All right, you're obviously using an approved box for the shipping. We're gonna put a single piece of tape across here. If this is your first time packing something like this, maybe go to the post office and just ask for some simple packing tape. All right, here we are. That's all that takes right there. Now, I'm not gonna be sealing up this area right here. I will go about halfway down the box there, so you get some good coverage with that tape. And I'm also gonna go around the bottom of the box, not sealing this up though, just making sure this always stays attached. Okay, you can see I just ran once right across there, made sure it intersected with this other piece of tape going across there. And we do this label first because this is now underneath the tape. So make sure you fill out the label while the box is flat before there's any tape on it. All right, time for insulation. I bend these flaps back a little bit, make it a little bit easier for myself. Obviously, this one goes on the bottom. Push it down there. Don't do it so much that anything breaks. That was about to snap. You want to be careful. Then we're going to take a long piece. Goes right in there. You see there's a little bit of room left right there. Smaller piece. It's going to snug right in there. And we're going to go right around with another larger piece. It's a tight fit. And here we are, just enough room. All right, now for some paper. So I like to take some paper and just push it down in here. What I'm trying to do by this is I'm just trying to block any drafts that may be coming through here. And I'm going to be using a heat pack, so I do need some air. But this is just another simple like layer of insulation. I mean, you can almost think of this as like the sheet on your bed, and maybe this is the comforter. One's big and puffy, but you know, the sheet really helps a lot. Maybe not. Maybe it's a terrible comparison. I don't know. Now, because I'm going to be using a heat pack, I need to put some air holes in here. The heat packs that you use for shipping need oxygen in order to function. If you take a heat pack, put it inside that box with no air holes, it will run out of air. So that's going to do two things. It's going to kill the animal that's in there, either because it's just going to be too hot or it's going to run out of oxygen. And that heat pack is going to end up not having enough oxygen to function, and it's just going to run out and go cold, and that's not the point of a heat pack. I like to put holes here, right there and there. It's an easy way to just always do the same thing. You're doing the same thing all the time. It's just easy to remember. Do whatever you want. I'm going to put one hole here, one hole here, and that's going to be it for this box. I'm going to have the heat pack on this side. So I just take a pencil and stick it right through. And I also just hold my hand here, not in the way of the pencil, but off to the side, because I don't want the pencil pushing this insulation in. I want the insulation to get punctured and perforated the whole way through. And as you can see a little bit of light through there. That's all that takes. That's all you need for the heat pack to function. Now, I'm doing this the night before, like I said, just so I can be prepared, give my customer the shipping number, and because I have to work tomorrow, and I don't have to run home from work and do all this at the last second before driving a half hour to FedEx. So here are my heat packs. Tomorrow around noon, I'm going to open up both of these, and I'm going to wrap them in a paper towel. I'll show you that right now in the video. But why I'm doing that at noon is because these will surge up in heat, and I don't like putting this super hot heat pack in the box with the animals. It's going to surge up in heat during the day. By the time I come home at around 5:30, it'll be slightly cooled down and appropriate to put in the box for shipping. Okay, so day of shipping at about noon. I'm going to go ahead and open up these heating packets, give them a shake. You want to activate this stuff. Now you see there's a red line here. This is always going to be facing air. For right now, you understand that. You're not going to put this face down. This needs to be up. This is how this breathes. So, wrap it around like that. Make sure it goes around the other way like this. Okay, because you can't leave it just sitting like this either. It needs to have a little bit of something in there reflecting heat back for whatever reason. So I'm doing 2 of these, even though I only need 1. Just in case one of these doesn't work, I don't want to go and have to open up another heat pack right before I ship out. So I'm going to wrap these up. They're not very tight, they're just getting some air. I'm going to leave them there for the next 4 or 5 hours before I'm ready to ship. Okay, snake bags. Your snake will go in a bag. This is for a hatchling from this year. Again, I'm shipping 4 of these, and I've taken about 3 or 4 paper towels, put them in there. That way, if the snake goes to the bathroom in transit, it's not just going to leak right through the bag. It'll be somewhat absorbent, and it's just better for the snakes, and no one wants to open up a package that's full of snake poo. All right, everybody. So it's time to ship. I have my 4 snakes in snake bags. All I did here was I took the paper towels, put them in there, run a little, have this little black tie that comes with it. I run that around the top a couple times, seal it up, tie it. Then I take a little tiny zip tie and put it over that so there's no getting out of the bag. I've taken some paper towels, I've taken some clean newsprint. I'm going to make a little bed for all this to sit on right now before I put the snakes in. So what this paper is going to do is give it a little bit of a bedding, so when it's bouncing around, it's not a big deal. It's also going to provide a little bit of insulation from the cold, and we're also going to be pulling some of it over from where the heat pack's going to be, so there's not direct contact between the snake and the heat pack. Now that all 4 snakes are in here, I'm going to folding all this over, and then we're going to work on how to affix the heat pack to the top of the box. All right, I started these earlier today. You can see you got 98 degrees, 95 degrees on this one, and 95 degrees on this one. So I could 97. They're both basically the same temperature. 93, move them around, a little bit different. They're warm to the touch, and I'm going to attach them to this. Now, this is kind of a pain in the butt because you can't just wrap 1 roll of tape around this, otherwise it's going to fall off. I've seen people attach it with zip ties before with little holes through here. That's a pretty good idea, but I'm going to show you how to do it with tape. Okay, the reason I put tape on 4 sides of this is because over time, it's probably going to fall down into the box. And I want to keep it where it is. I did not cover any of the actual pad. The heating pad is right in here. And these paper towels are going to hold it in place. And that's on there pretty solid. And I just went around and kind of patted everything down so there's no sticky tape anywhere. And this, of course, is going to fit into the box this side down. So I've added a little bit more packaging in here. And we can see how this is going to flip down right here. like so. And there's no snakes here. The snakes are all over here, and there's a bunch of paper in between them and the heat pack, so you don't have direct contact from the heat pack. The heat pack is firmly fixed to the styrofoam, so it's not going to fall down and migrate anywhere around in here. I'm going to double check and verify that I have my holes on the side that the heat pack is. That's important. I want to have that oxygen going right in there so the heat pack can breathe. At this point, we're ready to close up the box, put a couple cards. I have a packing list here. I don't want to show you who it is because, you know, there's personal information on there. But this is going to be a second copy of the packing list for where this is going inside this box, just in case anything happens to the one on the outside. I put one strip of tape across the top again, and we're going to put the packing list right here. I'm going to put multiple pieces of tape over here. They're going to seal this shut real nice and tight, so I'm not relying just on one piece of tape. As you can see, the packing list goes right on the top, and I put all this tape coming down over here, just making sure that this is not going to go anywhere. One last step, we need to write the tracking number on the box just in case this label gets torn off and the one inside gets damaged. It's just redundancy. All right, there we go. It is finished. Tracking number written here, customer information all set. Now remember that it's actually 75 degrees inside this snake room, so I need to get this package out of here because I don't want these animals to overheat. I'm not going to leave this just sitting in here. It's time to go straight to FedEx. And I drop off at FedEx as late as possible. They close at 7. I'm going to get there about 6:30, and that way the animal's not sitting in the package for an extended amount of time.